If you only watch one inspiring patient experience video, this should be the one. Hey, what's going on everyone? Victor here, and I'm finally back with another video. I know it's been a while, but what can I say? Anyways, we're back, and today I want to talk about one of the most remarkable recoveries and life transformations that I've ever seen after cosmetic stature lengthening. Now, before we dive into this patient's incredible journey, it's important to remember that every patient's recovery is unique. Some patients may face complications and recover slowly, if at all, while most patients have a typical recovery within the average time frame. And then there are those like today's patient who recover above average, faster bone healing, less pain during lengthening, and regaining their physical abilities in record time. So this patient, Julius, was a member of our Discord community, which if you haven't joined yet, what are you doing? No, I'm just kidding. You can check it out below. There's a link in the description. It's completely free. Anyways, Julius recently dropped back in the Discord to share his progress 16 months post-surgery. The kid's in his early 20s. He has his own business that allowed him to fund the procedure with the top limb lengthening surgeon, and he had it done last May of 2022, where he had both of his femurs lengthened using a non-weight bearing nail. He hit the full 8 centimeters in length, and he now stands an impressive 3 inches taller. All right, let's break down his lengthening experience, recovery, and some benefits that he noticed after the surgery. So first up is pain. Julius got through lengthening with no complications, no nerve pain, no pain from tight muscles, and overall said that the pain during the lengthening process was minimal. For him, the pain was the worst in the first 3 weeks after the surgery, which it typically is for most patients, with an average level of about 5 out of 10. He said sometimes it would jump to about an 8 out of 10 if he moved, jerked his legs, or he went to the bathroom. But after about 3 weeks, the pain dropped off a cliff and it dropped down to about a 1 out of 10, which is what most patients report at this time. He said it could also be due to his Muay Thai training and working out in the gym that helped him with increased pain tolerance. And he wants to make it clear that, pain from the surgery is different from patient to patient, but overall it's tolerable. And he says to remind yourself that the pain is temporary and to focus on your end goal. Moving around, Julius used the walker to get around like most patients who have a non-weight bearing nail, and he said it wasn't ideal, but he got used to it after a while. Sleeping wise, Julius said that he was normally a heavy sleeper, but in the few weeks right after surgery, he started waking up at about 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, all achy, a little bit sweaty, and he would need to take another pain pill to help him fall back asleep. And this is again pretty common amongst most patients, and it can even last the entire lengthening phase, so definitely be aware of that. Working. Julius managed to continue working during the entire lengthening process. In fact, he said that he got back to it just one day after surgery, mentioning that if you don't take too many narcotics and you occasionally reposition yourself, you should be able to focus fine on your remote work, although it's suggested, by many surgeons and other patients to take a few weeks after surgery just to let the pain drop off a bit. What about working out? Well, Julius found creative ways to maintain his fitness and stay active during his lengthening process. He used adjustable dumbbells and he even got a door frame pull-up bar so he could do pull-ups safely and lower himself into the chair. Also, he finds it funny that when people make excuses about working out in general, considering that he was doing pull-ups despite having 2 broken legs. All right, the aspect that everybody wants to hear about, recovery after limb lengthening surgery. And first up, we have walking. So Julius lengthened his femurs 8 centimeters and his bones healed enough to get back to walking unassisted within just 6 weeks after lengthening. So think about that for a second. He lengthened 8 centimeters, which is 80 millimeters, and he was going at 1 millimeter per day, which is 80 days of lengthening, plus the 1 week of latency right after the surgery, which is no lengthening, which is about 90 days or 3 months of lengthening phase, plus the 6 weeks of bone healing, means that this guy was given clearance for unassisted full weight bearing in just 4.5 months. That is crazy. This isn't typical by any means. In fact, out of all the patients that I've talked to, there were only a handful that were able to walk unassisted within under 5 months, and Julius was among the fastest. Now, he did mention that in the first few weeks of walking, it did feel as if he did a hard leg day at the gym because his legs felt really heavy, sore, and stiff. And in fact, he would get stiff in the lower back if he walked for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, and he needed to take like a 5-minute break before he could continue walking. But all of this residual stiffness quickly subsided in the next few weeks. But the one you guys really want to know about is normal walking. So within 5 months, Julius was not only able to walk unassisted, but walk normally, which is a huge achievement after limb lengthening surgery. He got his surgery in late May around Memorial Day here in the US, and then about Halloween time, his walk was normal enough that no one noticed a thing. And just to remind you that this is all with a non-full weight bearing nail. Physical therapy, one of the most important aspects of limb lengthening. Julius emphasized the importance of physical therapy and rehab and worked super hard to remain flexible and regain his strength and mobility. He stresses the importance of being consistent and making progress with your stretches and rehab exercises post-op. Also, one thing that he wants everybody to know is that prior to surgery, he was practicing Muay Thai for 3 years, and after he recovers from nail removal, he plans to get back to that as well as parkour flipping. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Spider-Man on our hands. He also believes that these hobbies were a major help and reason why he was able to remain so flexible during the surgery. All right, I know you guys really want to hear about this one, athleticism. So before surgery, Julius could do a backflip. Right after lengthening, he promised me that he would be able to regain his ability to do a backflip. Well, just recently, after just a few tries, he landed a backflip after 3 inches of femur lengthening. Guys, this is crazy. Next up is Muay Thai. For those of you prospective patients wondering, is stature lengthening actually worth it? Take it from Julius. One of the most noticeable benefits he noticed was an increase in social respect from people who started treating him differently now that he was 3 inches taller, which was a boost to his confidence. He even said that subtle social cues were much more positive and mentioned that if you faced any form of height discrimination in the past, you would know exactly what he was talking about. All right, dating and romance. So Julius noticed huge improvements in his dating life. In his words, he said that he now has so much more success with women, it's night and day, that the extra height helped a ton. And the best part is that he still will wear shoe lifts on top of his new height to look even taller. You know, whenever I consult with patients, I always tell them that how you feel after the fact is the most important. And Julius, well, he feels great about his new height and the transformation that it brought to his life. He's more self-assured and comfortable in his own skin. And with the added respect of people around him, more attention from the ladies, and regaining all of his physical abilities, he's unbelievably happy with the results, saying that this surgery gave him way more than he asked for. I mean, the kid's above average height in his early 20s. He feels great. So good, in fact, is that he might even consider doing his tibias in the future to reach over 6 foot in height and by default fix his proportions. So if you're a prospective patient considering this surgery, Julius has a few tips for you. Number one is blending in. So for 3 years before the surgery, he wore shoe lifts using the sleight of height technique so that no one would know what he did. The technique is what I recommend to patients who want anywhere over a 2-inch increase in height without people knowing what happened. When it comes to proportions, Julius believes that worrying too much about proportions after lengthening can be a little overrated. Sure, he knows that it matters, but he says don't get too hung up on it. In fact, after lengthening, he said that he went out, he was wearing an outfit where he tucked his shirt in, which revealed his increased length in his femurs, yet he didn't notice anyone looking at him weird or anything like that. What about passing time? Well, Julius suggests finding something to keep you busy and to make this sabbatical downtime super productive. For him, it was working on his business, reading books, working out, learning new skills, and paying it forward by sharing his experience with other patients. Lengthening is a very long process, and finding something to do and get involved in can help your mental well-being. All right, he might have been young, but he was definitely wise. Julius left us with some inspiring words and advice for anyone considering going through limb lengthening surgery. He said that this surgery teaches you to be appreciative for the simple things in life, going for walks, hanging out with friends and family, driving cars with the music on, having no days with pain in your legs, things like that. And he said that being deprived of these little things makes you realize how beautiful life really is and that we often take it for granted. And he appreciates life so much more after lengthening. And I agree with him. And of course he agrees that the process was painful, but he knew that the physical pain was only temporary and still says that the surgery was 110% worth it and likely the best decision of his life. In fact, his process went so smoothly that the clinic that he got it done at is now using his bone healing as examples to show other patients what the gold standard and ideal bone growth is. It's crazy. He emphasized the importance of patience, dedication to the recovery process, and staying positive. And he encourages anyone to set realistic lengthening goals and keep pushing towards them. One of my favorite quotes from Julius is that you can complain that the world is superficial, where people with a good face or height genetics are treated better, or you can take matters into your own hands and play along. It just takes a lot of money and pain tolerance. I can confidently say that this calculated decision was one of the best I've ever made. I wish you guys luck with your journeys. We'll all be here to support you. Julius's journey is a real testament to the potential for an incredible transformation through limb lengthening surgery. His story serves as a reminder that with the right mindset, support, and determination, anyone can achieve their desired results. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. If you found Julius's experience inspiring, go ahead and hit that like button and share it with anyone that might benefit from his experience. And as always, if you have any questions or you want to share your own experiences, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. Until next time, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life, signing out. Peace.